Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's lunchtime live stream. I'm very excited because I have a guest that I really, oh, shoot. Hold on. My YouTube was on at the same time and I was echoing myself. That's fun. No, I'm very excited because I have a guest that I was lucky enough to meet in person. Gosh, was it last year? I don't even
Last
remember.
year, yeah.
Last year. Okay. We met. Oh, some of the chat is joining. Hey, Forrest. Nice to see you. Hey, Sal. So Tyray and I met at the anniversary party for 90 Day Fiancé. And it was so fun. Wasn't that a fun night?
It was so much fun.
Like, it was the best night. And, I wasn't super familiar with the show at the time, which is kind of funny. And then I kind of got into the show and I was like, oh, wow, I can't believe I already met all these people. This is so cool. So I, got to know you. I got to know Liz. She was great. And she was still with Ed at that point. But Tyray, just if you don't mind, if you could just introduce yourself to the chat and just tell people, where you're living now. I know that you were on last season of 90 Day the Single Life. Sorry. And I want to talk about that. But yeah, just give us the bullet points of who you are.
Hello, chat. In case I don't know any of you guys, my name is Tyray Mollett. I was on 90 Day before the 90 days, and last year, and then I was on Single Life this year. Right now, I'm living in Modesto, California. Let's see. I'm bad at these.
No, I put you on this spot, but it's funny because a lot of my audience, they're very much into crime. So you say Modesto, we think of Lacey Peterson. I mean, that's what I think of. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, Modesto, that's all. Yeah, that's all I know about Modesto. And now I guess you. So, but is there going to be a fifth season of 90 Day to Single Life? I think a lot of people are wondering that on these different chats and whatnot.
You know what? I haven't really heard much of it, but I'm sure it will be. I know the last season was a lot of fun. We had a really good cast. Hey, Taryn. And about Modesto and Scott Peterson, yeah. I was in like middle school during that time, maybe even sixth grade-ish. And it was crazy. Like we had so much like publicity around here, and a lot of people I know, like they had Lacey as their teacher. Like one of my friends, yeah, and she was like a really close family friend. She had her as a teacher, and then she like another friend lived by her, and it was really crazy when that happened. And everyone like here was like, he did it, And a lot of people were like, oh, he didn't do it, but it was really crazy.
I'm still baffled by that. The people that say he didn't do it. I'm kind of like, you're entitled to your opinions, but this guy makes me sick to my stomach. Really, really. But so one of the things, I wanted to talk to you about, which when I met you, it was fascinating to me. So I was with my girlfriend whose name was Liz, and I had mentioned Liz, a cast member as well. But my girlfriend Liz, she was somebody who was obsessed with this show. And so she was talking to you at this party and she's like, you have to come meet Tyray. And I'm like, okay. And so I went over, we were talking, and she was like, this is what happened to him. He got catfished. And I was like, no. I was like, really? Because I don't know about you, but I think of catfishing. I thought of, Manti Te'o. And I was like, well, that doesn't happen anymore, does it? And I started looking into it and I was like, wait, this happens way too much, like way too much. So I was pretty disturbed by that. But I would just love for you to talk about what happened just from the beginning and kind of how you slowly started to realize that maybe I believe it was Carmela.
Yeah, Carmela.
Yeah, Carmela
quote.
Or Carmelo. Sorry, Carmelo was not exactly Christina.
Yeah, so basically, I had started like a new job, and then I had went on this dating app, and I was just downloading it just to kind of like, just not even anything serious, just kind of like chat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like literally the first person to message me on the app was quote unquote Carmela, and then we were chatting on the app for a little while, and then like I wasn't looking for anything serious or even really anything. I was just kind of just bored,
Yeah.
and Pretty much we chatted on there, and then we started talking on like Snapchat or whatever. And it was weird because we never got to like phone, or you know what I mean, or even anything like social media. And it was always like a reason. I'm like, there's something going on, in the back of my mind the whole time I was saying that. And I'm like, maybe they're just private or something like that. Or maybe, maybe they're married. Right. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to just, take it back a little bit. And there were definitely times where I had to like stop talking to this person, out of like fear of things. But they didn't ask me for anything for the whole first year. And then we stopped talking, and then we started talking again, and that's when they started asking for money and stuff.
They started asking you for money?
Yeah, after about a year.
And did they know that you were on the show?
No, I wasn't on the show at that time. And the funny thing about it is that I never said I was like wealthy or rich or anything like that. I'm like letting them know I started a new job. I'm not making a lot of money. I'm making enough where I can like pay my bills and be okay. But like I wasn't like wealthy.
Right.
I noticed that they'll like see little things, and like the catfishers, that's what they do. They'll notice a little thing, like literally they'll notice the earrings you have on, or the ring you have on, or the necklace, and they'll
like
think
when you
have
said
money.
Pictures or whatever.
Yeah, on the pictures or whatever, and they notice my phone, and they'll assume that you have money based on the phone. And then another thing happened to me recently. I was just talking to someone on social media, and it wasn't anything serious. We were just like, talking normal conversations. They were like, "Oh, you're rich because you have an iPhone." I think it was when the 14 came out. I was just like, no, that does not equal money. Phones here are easy to get. Literally, you can go to the store and like sign a contract, and they'll give you
weird though that people say. I guess I was always taught like you don't talk about money. You don't talk about what other people have, and you know what I mean? Like if you walk into a friend's house in school, and you're like, they have a big house, you're not supposed to be like, wow, you must be rich, or like, I don't know. It's just not something I was always taught. You just don't talk about it. So I'm really surprised to hear people sort of poke at you and be like, well, you have money. This is that's just rude.
Yeah, and it's crazy because that's like the first thing they do. And I would do that too. Like when I see someone like a big house, I won't say it to them. I'll go home to mom and I'll be like, man, they have a big house. They must be rich,
Yeah, right. You say it exactly. So with Christina, though, she was sending you, or I guess he now, but we'll call her she for now. She was sending you photos, and you got the photos. Now, was she able to do, and just forgive me because I didn't follow the whole story on the show when you talked about it, but was she able to do the voice? Like the guy that did Manti Te'o's girlfriend, Lenny Kakua, his voice was insane. It sounded just like a woman. Was Christina able to do that?
No, we never like voice chat or anything like that.
Okay, that's never.
And I remember that story of Manti Te'o too, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh, that it's insane because like that. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I really can't, because then it's like she died and then she told him that she actually didn't die. It's so bonkers. And you're like,
God.
oh my gosh. Yeah. And so this is interesting. Forrest said it's like they have a script and they save all that info until it's needed. And most likely that's true. They're going after dozens and dozens of people at the same time or at once. It's like a business for them. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what it felt like too at sometimes, because we would chat, but then sometimes we would only chat like later during the day. You know what I mean? Like I'll send a message and I won't hear anything back for like 6 hours or 8 hours. And I know they weren't like super busy or anything like that. So, it takes 2 seconds to send a text. So it's really crazy.
Yeah. And Taryn, this stuff does happen. It's insane. And that's why, like I said, when I met Tyray, I was like, wait, what? Are you serious right now? It totally does. And I should do the Manti Te'o story another time, because that story is also, again, bonkers. And Hermit, Sal, yes, they asked him for money. And but here, I want to ask you a couple of things just about, the check bouncing. It's almost like you spoke to this person for a long time. How long did you message with them?
So when we first met, that was 2018. We talked for about 3 months, and then I just was getting red flags, so I stopped talking to them. And then maybe like a year later, I ended up getting another message, and then they started talking to me again, and then we were just like, okay. So about 4 years, on and off, because again in 2019, after they asked me for money, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. And then they
Yeah.
kind of like slowly drifted away after I said no to the money situation. And then in 2020, during like right when COVID started, literally, I
Yeah.
get a message. I didn't know it was them. They had another account on my Snapchat, and they were like stalking me pretty much.
Okay. And did they, and when, sorry, so when did you join the show, 90 Day Fiancé?
I joined 2022. November is when we first started filming.
Okay. And then when you joined the show, Christina must have been like, oh, hey.
Pretty much. Pretty much was like, okay, let's do it or whatever. Basically hyping me up to do it. And then when it came down to like getting started, that's when I noticed, like, right before my birthday was the 27th of October. We filmed November, and then they
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
They didn't mess with me on my birthday or anything. And then after that, that's when they just went ghost. And I think that's when
Okay.
they were like, okay, now it's real. Maybe they weren't believing about the show or whatnot. And I think when they get caught, that's when they start going kind of crazy, because they're afraid of what is the public humiliation. And then also, like, if it's from like a scammer from a certain country, like in their countries, they don't like it because it makes the country look bad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so how did it all come to a head where you figured out that Christina was Carmelo?
So pretty much after we started filming, they went ghost, and then I'm just like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And the producer was like, they told me that they were a catfish. I guess the producer got in touch with them, and
What?
then that's when the producer told me, and I was just like, what? But like, I had suspicions, but it was just more so I thought it was my own insecurities of me like not being, seasoned with dating or whatnot.
Oh, Tyra. Wait, so did the producer break it to you gently, or were they like, it's a dude? Like, it's sorry, it's a dude. I
It
mean,
was really gentle. He was really good about it. It
yeah,
was just, I was like, well, I didn't know what he was gonna tell me. I'm like, what is this guy gonna tell me? He's like, she dead
yeah,
or something?
yeah, I know. And then after that, you know, there was some tension, I feel like, between and I know some of this can be just good TV. We all know that some things are exaggerated and we all can appreciate that because reality TV is very interesting. But I have a clip that, if you don't mind, I would love to play between you and your mom.
Yeah.
Um, your mom is awesome. So if you don't mind, I'm
Oh
just
no,
gonna
you can
share.
play it.
Okay, just so we can and then we can just discuss it because I want to know your mom. Her reaction was just kind of amazing. So let me get this. Uh, oh no, I just went to my own thing. Where? Oh shoot, I just lost it. Let me pull this. Let me pull this off for a minute so I can go back to what I had. I don't know why
Okay.
it did that. That was so weird. But while I'm pulling this up, if you don't mind just discussing with the chat your experience on 90 Day Single Life, because that looked like such a fun show. And then I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah, so Single Life was a lot of fun. It was like me kind of putting myself back out there. And then also figuring out what my issues were with dating. It was a lot of fun though. I met some cool people along the way. I got stood up at one date. But it was nice getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because that's hard to do, I realized. It's hard to like put yourself out there, especially since I didn't want to use like any dating apps or anything like that. So I wanted to like date in person and meet people, in person, and that way I don't have to worry about being catfished or anyone
Well,
asking me for money or anything.
I mean, just also the whole thing about getting stood up is so strange to me because now we live in a world where we have cell phones. We have a million ways to get in touch with people and message them. And it's just like, there's no excuse
None.
to stand anyone up. Yeah, it's so stupid. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry that happened, but
Oh,
it
thank
is
you.
really, it's brave of you, yeah, to get out there. And I'm going to just pin that comment, Marshall. Very brave
Thank
of
you,
him to
Marshall.
put
Thank you.
himself out there. It's true, really. All right, let me play this clip. It's from Entertainment Tonight. And it's really just fun because yeah, your mom.
I'm just trying to get closure at this point. I'm thinking like going back to Barbados.
For what?
That's the cat where the catfish.
Literally all of us.
For what?
Tyray's mom and his other sister are in shock after he reveals he's been catfished by Carmela for the last 4 years.
I don't believe
How did you
it.
get mixed up in this?
I can't believe it. I'm confused.
And he shares why he's still holding on to the catfish after all the evidence points to the fact that he was being scammed.
She gave me like something I never really had. She like told me that she loved me and stuff. So
Wow. That statement right there says so much. Whew, I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay, well, I want to get back to where your mom is. They have all the other people. Okay.
with, the Carmela,
Here we go.
Speaking of that, Tyray is still having a hard time with acceptance.
I'm
Duh. Not trying to be rude, but
No, this girl's wild.
Tyray and his sister LaShanti go to a private investigator who reveals Carmela is a cam porn star. The lady in these pictures,
I didn't know
her
that.
actual name is Carmela, or it's her alter ego name. But either way, the pictures and her name match up.
It said her name and underneath United States.
says like she's like a fetish queen.
Wow, she is
Oh.
getting free advertisement on 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh
I'm
my
angry.
God.
His sister is like,
Yeah,
bruh.
your sister
And the
not
private
having it.
investigator is like, oh,
Not
okay,
having
this
it.
is what we're dealing with. Yeah. I don't know what Tyray is confused about. I'm guessing he's confused because none of this information sounds like what he wants to hear. But what happened is very clear.
Shade.
At least clear enough to move on.
For it to just stop.
What is he going to do when he finds him, though? A part of me hopes he does because that would be interesting. But the other part of me just wants him to leave it alone for his safety. He doesn't know these people, and it takes a specific person to scam someone like that.
Mhm.
He's never heard of Curiosity Killed the Cat.
I've come too far to just stop.
Tyray goes on to share that he now thinks it's time to tell the rest of his family what he's been going through.
It's so much harder to tell my mom because she's been through so much already. And I feel like I'm at an age where I shouldn't be making mistakes like this.
Oh,
poor
this is
baby.
what happened with
At least now he
Manti
knows he's been tricked.
also.
What you need to tell us?
Okay, I want to pause just for a minute here and just take this off because just for a second, because I think that our chat here is, we are very understanding to what you went through. And I think that so many people can sit there and judge like that host, but also that it's her job, right? She has to be a little sassy, has to be a little edgy. We don't fault her for that. However, unless you were in a situation such as this, and it's been a long period of time, and somebody is giving you this attention. I mean, let's face it. We all like attention. We all like when someone says, I love you. You look beautiful today. You look handsome today. I love that shirt on you. I mean, it's like, it's not, you just can't fault somebody. And I know that it must have been also kind of hard to believe after, all of this time. And so I get it. I do. I get it. And also Manti Te'o kind of said the same thing. Like, I don't really believe it until you show me that this is not Lenny Kakua. And he actually, the guy that catfished, had this girl like take photos. So I don't know. I get what you're saying. You're like, maybe if I meet the girl in the photos, maybe that will, right? I mean, is that where your mind kind of went?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was at. Just like, all right, let me just make sure that it's like legit her and that's not, I'm not like being scammed again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you, chat too. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no, because we get it. We're compassionate people. This is a lot of the people in the true crime realm as well. So it's just like you were a victim, and where I get it. Your family is like, dude, no, because they just don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah.
It's also just like I understand where your curiosity came from and comes from. So how did you leave it with your mom and your sister? Just curious.
So pretty much, I just told them, I didn't want to go back to Barbados. But I just basically didn't go to Barbados.
Yeah.
Ended up
Yeah.
meeting with the real girl in Denver. And I understood their concerns, but they know I'm pretty private. You know what I mean, in a way. But also I don't like to like just push all of my issues on other people. You know what I mean? Because I know other people go through things. So I'm always very like closed a little bit, So I don't like just go out and like blab about everything that's going on with me.
Oh,
So it's kind of
I
hard,
totally get it. I totally get it. And you also you're such a good sport just to watch that back and to I know that I sometimes push the envelope a little bit. I want to see a little reaction, but I also wanted you to know that we are all on your side. I mean, you again, like Marshall said, you did nothing wrong. This is extremely common. And so I just want to go back also to because what you said earlier was really important. Like anyone who is single, who is talking to people online, some of the telltale signs, which is huge, is the money thing.
Yes.
Asking you for money, right? Huge, huge red flag. What would you say would be another red flag for people to watch out for?
Oh, they're gonna say that they're hungry, they don't have any food, they hurt themselves, and they'll show you like a picture of like a blister or like their leg bleeding or something like that. And they need like medical supplies, and then they'll try to like gaslight you into thinking that you don't care because you're not giving them anything, and they'll be like, I want to date someone else because maybe they'll give me this or give me that, and then usually it's like they're in a rush to like go to the next level. Like they'll like try to push you to like commit. Yeah, cell phone broke. Exactly. That's it too. Or they need money for school, or their mother is sick.
Right. And Taryn, I totally agree. Your mom looked like she would not be okay. She would literally run over there. And that's the kind of mom I'd like to think that I am.
Yes,
One that's ready just to pounce if you hurt my kid. And this is true, Joanne. We are all one.
Yes.
Dude. And so I want to tell you guys something about this too. And Taryn, you might be familiar, but and this sounds crazy because it's not, I don't know if it counts as being catfish, but there was a huge case that I was covering and I still kind of cover it. It's the John O'Keefe murder out of Canton, Massachusetts. Karen Reed is the name that everybody knows. But there were a lot of people tweeting about the case on X and everybody took different sides. And there was this one account. Do you guys remember the Mallory account with the red hair? Well, it turns out, and she would message me and I could tell she was baiting me like with stuff in DMs. And I'm super pleasant in DMs. I try to just be, whatever, casual, polite, don't divulge too much or go too far. But she was baiting me. And she said she was an OnlyFans model, and she kept being like, "Oh, well, you're pretty." What, like, almost being like, "What is your husband like?" Just weird shit like that. Okay, Joanne, so you remember? Yes. And I'm just like, this is so weird. Why are you even? And I would just go LOL, or I would just not respond. Well, then it turns out this picture she had. If you threw it into Google, it was like a news reporter from like the Midwest or something. Like she was, and then it was actually a dude. I think it was Richard Smith or something. So I went back to look, and somebody outed them for being, and I don't know what the purpose was, but now Richard Smith and Mallory both block me on Twitter, and I'm kind of like, is it because I figured you out? I don't care. I really don't care. But yes, you guys look it up. It's like Rich Smith, and like her handle was like cash only girl. It was super bizarre, but they were trying to get me to say stuff. And I'm like, this is just weird. And I had this sense. So yeah, that whole point of that was we're one DM away from being catfished, basically.
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway, now that you completed this, the 90-day single life challenge, you had a great experience on that show besides being stood up, it seems like.
Yeah, I did. I had a really good experience. I didn't go there and like, find, someone to marry or anything like that. But that I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, putting myself back out there, and then also not being afraid to try to date again, because I was kind of like, after COVID hit, I worked from home pretty
Yeah.
much for 2 years, and I didn't get out a lot. I would go out a few times or whatever, but it was
Mhm.
still going around. And my mom got sick, so I wasn't going out as much as I used to, because I was usually going out. I would go literally, I would get paid on
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday. I'll go shopping, then I'll put on my new clothes and
Yeah.
I'll go around, get a haircut, and then
Funny.
that would be my thing. And then I got out of that, and
Yeah.
so putting myself back out there for like single life, that did help a lot. Just getting used to it. I would go get my feet done every 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, self-care makes us feel good about ourselves. Like, let's be honest. It's really important, because if we don't feel good about ourselves, we're not going to project our best self to another person, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but that's how I feel. So,
and they can tell too.
yeah, exactly. So, was there any because I didn't watch that season, was there any just drama that you were just like, I cannot deal with this?
Oh, with single life?
Yeah.
The drama was mainly at the tell-all. There was another person on there, a cast member. Pretty much one of them lied about her age, about I think 10 years. I think she was 70, and she said she was like 60. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
So that was
God.
a big talking point at the tell-all. A lot of people were
Yeah.
going for her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emily.
That's my mom,
And then
by
there was
the way.
another one.
And Joanne, yes, we definitely all need a group petty session. I'm so
Right.
into that. Next time we're in Modesto, we'll also scope out Covina Avenue. Just kidding. That's where Lacey and Scott lived. Anyway, but yeah, continue. Okay, so she lied about her age. Ugh, that's kind of a big deal. A decade.
And then there was another cast member. I'm not even gonna say it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, yes. She didn't wear underwear when she went out with her friends.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
that was a big talking point. And then there was another one. What was it? Just kind of like a guy who was dating a girl. They got engaged now, but
Oh,
they
that's
were
nice.
like having like a conversation about like sharing locations and whatnot. So I kind of like, I got involved with all of it a little bit. I just said that, basically the lady lying about her age was doing so because it is kind of hard. I feel like some sites, they default you for like 18 to 50. So like when you're over 50, you get like X'd out unless you go in there
Yeah.
and like put it in by yourself. But it's
Yeah.
good to be
Yeah.
honest, honestly.
No, oh my gosh, totally. And so when we were at let me think, it was the whatever. Can you remind me? It was the 10-year anniversary party or something?
Yeah,
Or the
that's what I think it was. 10-year anniversary party.
Yes, 10-year anniversary party for 90 Day Fiancé. And because I wasn't super familiar with the show, I really had only this is horrible. It's gonna sound, it's not horrible, but it's gonna sound horrible. I was only familiar with Ed because of all the memes.
Yeah.
Wait, and so then let me just talk about this, because then, and guys, if you don't know Ed, let me pull up Ed, because Liz, my friend Liz, actually showed me some of the funniest clips about Ed. Hold on.
Oh,
You have
God.
to see this, Tyray. This is one of my favorite things. I'll have to like go through it. But hold on, before I get to that. So anyway, so Ed is in all these memes. You guys know him. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm talking to him. He's super nice. But Liz, my friend Liz, was like, he's kind of a dick. And I was like, what? I was like, no. And she's like, no. Like, you got to watch the show. And I'm like, okay. So let me pull up. I don't know what season this is, but Ed is engaged to someone named Rose. And I have watched this where, I guess in her culture, I believe she's Thai, he had to like shower with her father or something. You have to see this. And then at one point, he's trying to tell Rose that her breath smells. You cannot, this is just, it's really good. So let me just pull this up. I might scroll through some of it to get to the funny part, but hold on. A spinal cord issue or something.
Yeah, something about the vertebrae in his neck or something like that.
Yes, something with it. Yeah, so that is why maybe his neck might look a little different than what people are used to seeing. No big deal. Just wanted to, throw that out there in case anyone didn't watch the show.
Babalik mami.
Okay, fast forward. Okay, blah 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 blah. Cool, that's great. That's great. Blah blah blah. They're growing closer. Cool. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna. Yep. Wow. She literally said, I cannot. Okay, so Taryn wants to know, Tyray, in your experience, how much is scripted? If you can share a little bit. I mean, you don't have to, but.
Well, none of it's like scripted. It's just more so we just have to be in like our days are just I don't know how to say it, but
yeah,
it's not scripted.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's not scripted.
Yeah,
like it's just
not scripted. Well, I'll say mine was. I don't know. I don't think any of it was scripted for anyone, but I know mine wasn't scripted or anything like that.
Yeah, they'll just say, today we're going to shoot you on your date, or today we're going to shoot you going like, this is the deal. You guys have dates this day. You guys have dates that day, whatever. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So basically the camera isn't like just following you around all day. You just basically say, this is what we're going to do today. You know what I mean? Basically.
Yeah. Oh, God. I just remember seeing that and I was just like, no. That was so bad. And then my friend Liz was like, yeah, he pulls chicks. And I was just like, is this real? I mean, I am a woman. I'm not a biologist, but I'm a woman. But I can say that I guess like the dickhead guys are appealing when maybe you're young in your 20s, or I don't know, but I feel like we all move past that in our lives. So I am kind of perplexed as to why women still are going for this type of guy that's just not super kind, I guess.
That was like, I remember seeing that and I was just like, wow, like, holy smoke. Like, there's a way to say it without, I mean, I guess being honest is good, but it could have also been, like she said, an ulcer or something, or anything,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my mom's friend Tammy said, Mom and I have never heard of catfishing before. Are we old? No, you're definitely not old, but it wouldn't have happened to you guys, Tammy, because when you were dating, there were no cell phones and apps for people to hide behind. You had to go on in-person blind dates. Is that what you called it in the 50s? Just kidding. They definitely didn't grow up in the 50s. I'm just joking. Taryn says, one more thing, Tyray. For the people who don't understand Louisiana weather, how did you feel like, or did you feel like you were melting in New Orleans? What time of year were you there? It's hot.
Oh, Taryn. It was hot. I don't know if you know, but last year there was a heat wave. We went there June, and it was like 110 degrees. I think Dallas was really hot. It was like the whole like south area from like Texas to like Florida, I believe. It was like a heat wave, and it was so hot, 110 degrees. Oh. I didn't know how to dress there. I looked at the weather. I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be like 90 and 80 or 100. And I'm like, okay, it gets 100 here where I live at too. So I know it's just shorts and a t-shirt. But there, I didn't think the humidity. So it's like you're hot, but then you're also like, it feels like you're in a sauna. So like I'm sweating. I'm like, oh my God. And then at one point I thought I was gonna pass out because I was like dehydrated. Out of breath. And we were drinking. Like me and my brothers, we flew there at 11. I think our plane took off at like 1 or 11 or something like that. But we went to the bar at the airport before it closed, had a shot or a few drinks, and then we went on the airplane, went to sleep, woke up, and then it's like 5 a.m. in Dallas. Then we flew to New Orleans. We were there at like 9-ish or something like that. And then we just started filming. So we filmed all day, didn't stop till around 12 a.m. And we were pretty much drinking, went to a few bars, and then me and my brother went back out again, and it was still hot. And I'm like, oh my God.
I've never actually been there. I want to go. It was on my list for like a 40th birthday trip, and then I was just like, do I really want to look back and say I went to New Orleans for my? I don't know. Like I feel like that's a 25 birthday trip. You know, maybe not 40, but whatever.
It's wild there. It's wild there. It's a lot of fun though. You know, you can have like a slow trip there too. Ours was it was like in between. I went to the casinos afterwards when we were done.
Oh,
so that was kind of chill, you know.
Joanne.
Oh, Joanne.
Laying it on. Okay.
Thank you.
That is very sweet. So as of right now, you are not planning to do another 90-day show as of right now, but that doesn't mean that it's off the table.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, if they ask me, I'll definitely do another one. I had a lot of fun. I like sharing my life now. I'm kind of used to it now because I filmed for 2 years straight pretty much. So in a way, it's kind of like what I'm used to, you know, and then not filming is a little weird. But yeah, I would definitely film again. I had a lot of fun. You know, if they're interested and if people want to hear, you know, more stories from me or whatever, you know.
Yeah, they could go back and like watch. I think it's season 6 that you started on. 90
Yes,
Days Fiancé,
before
right?
the 90 days, and then Single Life season 4.
Okay, so it's season 6 of 90 Day Fiancé, and then season 4 of 90 Days Single Life. But I don't think anything is in production right now for TLC and the 90 day I guess content. I think that right now is just like nothing is happening. From what
I know there's 2
that.
shows on right now before the 90 days season 7, so they have a new season on already, and they have The Other Way, which is when Americans go live in another country.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I just meant like nothing's in production, I guess. There like that is on, and that's that I think that season it ends in a few months, maybe. I don't even know. I've got to look it up. I was trying to find it before I jumped on, but what I'll do is I'll plug your seasons in the episode notes so people can go back and watch all of it. Because I know I put some, you know, some of the clips of your mom and sister yelling at you, but you really are just so sweet and genuine, and it's like you're just so lovely to watch. It's nice to see someone genuine on camera.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.
No, and you're just like that in person as well, which is really nice. So
yeah, we had a long conversation, me, you, and Liz, and I think the Liz who was engaged to Ed, she was with us too. There was like some of your other friends. We were all like having a really long conversation.
We had the best night. I mean, you know, you guys, I should pull up photos from that night. I should have had them ready, but I just remember like Liz, my friend Liz, it made her year to go to that party. Cause I remember I get like certain invites from PR companies and I don't look at all of them. And this one I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure Liz likes this show. So I'll send it to her and see if she wants to go. And she's like, oh my God, yes. And I was like, okay. And then we got there and I was the one that was like, is he on the show? Is he on the show? Is this like, who do I don't know who I'm talking to, whatever. And it ended up being like just one of the funnest nights ever. So it was, well worth it. And then we got to meet and it was great. And yes, Taryn, he is so amazing.
Thank you, Taryn. Taryn, yeah, for sure you should do it. It'll be fun, a good experience. You'll really learn a lot about yourself and then also putting yourself out there. Like it's something that a lot of people are never able to do, you know?
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you would like people to know about you? Or anything that you want to just put out there?
Yeah, so basically there was actually a case where there was a 17-year-old from I believe Ohio or Michigan, and he was catfished by 2 Nigerian men. And they pretended to be a girl. They stole her account and they were going to post his, you know, intimate photos online and send them to his family. And they actually got extradited to the United States, and they both end up getting charged. I forgot how long, but they're going to be in prison for a long time, if not for life. So he ended up, you know, committing suicide, but they're both going to be in the States. They already got sent to prison. So they're cracking down on some of these scammers who go out looking, for minors. And then if you guys have kids, just make sure you watch your kids online.
Yeah. So that case that you're talking about, I know exactly the one you're referring to. And that one, they've actually labeled that as a sextortion case, which is very, very popular among teen boys. And I think that case that you're referring to, I think his father was a congressman or something. Does that sound familiar? I'm just going to let me see.
I believe it happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They got charged, so it's fairly recent. And I think you're right. Yeah, they pushed for that.
Yeah, like Nigerian brothers whose sextortion case. Yeah, the mother is a Michigan teenager, Jordan DeMay. He died in March of 2022 after sending nude photographs of himself to somebody he thought was a girl who had befriended him on social media. The recipients instead were Samuel and Samson Ogashi, who were operating a hacked Instagram account and demanded $1,000 from the teenager after threatening to send the images to his friends and family. A federal judge in Marquette on Thursday, and this was, when was this? This was literally, this was a week ago. Yeah, so this is last week, like you said. On Thursday, sentenced the brothers, aged 22 and 20, to 210 months in prison each after they pled guilty in April to one count of conspiring to sexually exploit a minor. Originally from Nigeria, the pair was extradited in August of 2023. Wow, that is crazy. That's so crazy. I feel like that was a light sentence. I don't know, but
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wasn't there. I didn't even know about that trial, so I'm not even sure what was proved. If maybe this sweet young boy had other instances of maybe where he talked about taking his own. I'm literally not sure. So that's why it's so hard. But that's so sad, like so sad. Oh my goodness.
It is really sad.
Yeah. Well, you're single now. I just want to clarify. Single.
Yep.
Okay. Single and looking, I guess we could say. So, Tyray, you are on Instagram, and I want to make sure that people follow you on Instagram. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. And what is your Instagram again?
TTY.
TTY. Yep.
RAYY.
Okay, got it. Tyray and I follow each other. You should all follow him as well. And where else, just in case? Do you have any other platforms that you use?
I'm on TikTok too. It's the same username as that.
Okay. All right. TikTok, yeah, and Instagram. You can find Tyray. He's super fun and he like engages. He actually responds and is cool on social media, even though he has a ton of followers. Taryn says, yeah, she hopes they go down, and Sal says Bubba will take good care of them.
Yeah.
I love when Sal says silly things like that. It's so funny. Well, Tyray, thank you so much for doing this. You are just such a joy. I love talking to you. I really do.
Yeah, Lauren, anytime. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. This was a lot of fun.
The chat is awesome.
I like it. Yeah.
I'm so glad. Well, then we'll definitely be in touch. Next time we should do like a round table or something and talk about some of these other issues and maybe even talk about some dating issues again. So
yeah, that'd be fun. I like that. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Tyray. Have a great afternoon, and chat, have a great afternoon as well.
Have a good one, Lauren. Thank you, chat. You guys have a good one.
Bye.